Hi, you're here with Etharal. I am back with the Stellaris Let's Play that we're doing for the Tower Empire with the Twilight of Man Cosmetic mod. So here, as you can see, we've just been obviously the last couple of episodes, we've just been steadily expanding, getting to the point where we obviously have multiple planets and things like that, obviously, and sort of learning a little bit about our actual sector of space and what sort of things that we have in it. We are in a reasonably strong position and everything. We've got a good solid sort of base going on, although obviously we are starting to discover about sort of various other alien races and things, so they are going to start to potentially be a little bit of a threat. We will have to likely deal with them at some point, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, basically. So obviously we are clustered around a couple of other ones all in sort of the area, so hopefully we'll be able to expand slightly further out and be able to get this as a decent sort of sized empire before they start trying to attack us or anything like that, obviously. And so here we're just obviously setting this guy up here to basically just be able to get all of these stellar shrines. There seems to be more than a few of them starting to get created, which is not brilliant. They're starting to clog up my solar system a little bit, which isn't brilliant, but we'll deal with that one. Obviously it just means that we've got more stuff to basically be able to research, so could be a lot worse, that one at least. It does obviously gives boosts to my research and everything. And so here you can see we are just building up our military as well. We do want to make this a hopefully, one that can be at least a little bit of a threat sort of thing. And so we're also as well going to set off this science ship. Obviously they've been exploring out into sort of the reaches of space a little bit, out beyond our sector. How far they'll obviously get, we're not 100% sure on, but hopefully they should be able to expand a little bit further at least. And so here you can see this is obviously our newest the Tau is the newest obviously planet, and then we've got Tau, which is obviously our main capital. We are looking at doing some stuff like that just to try and get it into a little bit better shape. It's, it could be doing far better, although it has nearly hit the full population. You can see obviously predominantly through Tau, although there are some Kroot mixed in there sort of in the sort of lands to the west of the actual planet. And so here we've just got basically, nice solid empire, good little starting point to jump off of. You can see we've got all of our planets obviously that are in our solar system that we've managed to explore. To say that they're a little bit developed would be putting it mildly. They're in a very, very good position. And so we are bringing in a lot of energy credits and minerals. Obviously, we do have more energy credits than we have minerals. We will need to look at hopefully redressing that balance. It's more of just a fact that the energy credits are more for maintenance, and at the minute at least, and then obviously the minerals are for actual building stuff. And obviously, we're in the phase of obviously expanding, so there is obviously a lot of building work going on as we're obviously having to produce enough stuff to be able to expand our actual empire, which is easier said than done, certainly when you're having to build colony fleets and things like that. But here we're just going to sort of move some stuff around just to be able to sort of develop this place a little further. You can see there we have finally cleared all the slums and everything like that on the actual planet of Tau. I like to think that's sort of the initial infrastructure that they put in place just for the initial colonies and everything, to make sure that they had a lot more people that they brought with them than just sort of the bog standard colonists that are going from this planet to another planet. I'd like to think, sector colonization would take quite a little bit more for them to have to do. So obviously they have had to set up slums for those people to live, unfortunately, just until we can develop them further. And so here you can see that our military is going to take its first action of trying to attack somebody and see how this does go. I do really like these fights. They are still very, very basic when compared to a lot of other games, although they are certainly a lot better looking than how the actual Crusader Kings 2 games and Europa Universalis games, it looks certainly a lot nicer than those. And so here we're just going to have a look through defending. We can see there is the Ordo Originatus United Worlds. So basically they are the Grey Knights, obviously, for anybody familiar with the 40k universe. And you do have down here the Sept of Tau. So there looks like there's been another colonization attempt by the actual Tau. This is one of the things I was talking about as well in the last episode. You can see in that one there where the stellar shrines seem to all just keep continuing to sort of spawn, and as you can see there is more than a few of them in that place. And so we're going to sort of continue exploring along here. This is a place I am considering for a frontier sort of outpost to be able to expend our influence there and get a good few planets. So obviously before we do that though, we are going to obviously have to make sure that it is something that would be a viable choice and wouldn't be, you know, a waste of, you know, the planet and no good and things like that. Obviously not what we want to do there. Would like to also as well, ideally, if we can try and get to the point where we can see sort of some primitive races there. They are quite nice things to run into, and something obviously I would like to show off in this ideally. And so there you go. We are also developing obviously our technology. They're coming along more than a little bit nicely there. It's why also you will notice they've got the uplift technology that we can research, which is one of the reasons why I do obviously want to be able to try and find some primitive races, because I would like to be able to uplift them and bring them in to the Tau Empire, teach them about the ways of the greater good and how it will ultimately benefit them. And so there you go. I have also, as you can see, set off my constructor to basically build a frontier outpost in this planet, the Wedge system. I couldn't quite see whether I had an eye in it there for a second. And so here we're just looking obviously at improving obviously our actual planet as we go as well, being able to increase our mineral production, even though we are on sort of plus 36 a turn, and you know we are still, because of the amount that we are using, that is still going pretty quickly really, that one. And so it's one of the reasons why we've decided to expand here, because obviously mean more minerals that we can bring in. Obviously if we can get even more than what we currently have, then brilliant. So we're just going to obviously send off the scientists. We are going to have a look at expanding our borders, probably somewhere down towards the south, obviously, as there is obviously the Ordo Originatus to our actual east, and then obviously Craftworld Eldar to our north. So obviously we don't really want to be going that way too far. Obviously it will start to annoy them more than a little bit if we do start to encroach on their territories and things like that, obviously, as would do the same if they sort of came towards us, which I'm hoping they won't do, but they probably will do in the near future. And so we are going to just basically survey a couple more places, look to move to expand into the south as well, as there doesn't seem to be any that we've found in that direction though, so that way hopefully we can, you know, build up a good bit of development down there, which is going to be nice and safe away from if the Ordo Originatus or the Craft World were to obviously attack. Unlikely that they would, but, you know, better safe than sorry, obviously. And so I hope you are obviously enjoying this series. I will just mention though that do be sure to subscribe if you are enjoying this or any of my other series. I put videos out near enough every day at the minute, and you know, would love to obviously make sure that you're getting your notifications for when they're coming out to be able to share them more with yourself. But getting back to obviously this Tau Stellaris game, I mean, we're just trying to get some ideas here. Obviously you can see there that for some reason all the old gods, you can see just how many of those that we have to try and hand in, and obviously these respawn as well when you go back into systems sometimes and things. So there is a little, you know, there's just a couple of them, shall we say. And unfortunately what seems to happen there, our science ship actually has lost its leader, which is not great. Not sure what happened. I think he died during a sort of research sort of thing and everything, so not brilliant, but you know what, we'll, you know, reassign a new one. This guy's not too bad or anything like that. Got a nice stat sort of boots there and everything for, I believe it was sort of anomaly surveys and anomaly research, which is good. And so we're going to get him to go and sort of travel around, do a bit of exploring, get a little bit of experience, so that then he's at the point where he can actually, you know, be able to start doing the Stellar Shrine things as well, as that is quite important. Don't know what you think, but something I am considering possibly getting a third science ship is just to be able to sort of again be able to expand and research and sort of survey and discover more and more about increasingly about the galaxy. What do you think? Please do be sure to let me know in the comments below if you think it's something that could be a viable option for the game and everything. Obviously, if you have any other suggestions, though, do be sure to subscribe, and not to subscribe, sorry, to comment, and obviously let them, although still, please do subscribe, obviously, if you are enjoying the series and everything. And so here, we're just sort of setting up the Tau, just being able to sort of build some stuff, that way, obviously, as the colonists do, obviously, expand, they will be able to actually get us a little bit of extra stuff and, you know, make sure that this world is nice and developed, ready for when the administration building does come in, such as, speak of the devil, but on Magula, the place is now got enough population to be considered a full actual planet, and so we are going to build an administration place to be able to develop this into a full actual planet. planet for us rather than just an initial sort of colony sort of thing, which is certainly a lot better situation to be in, obviously. So here we're just sort of steadily going along. It's one of the things with the sort of games, the 4X games, is this first sort of stage here, which is the obviously the explore and the expand, and these are going to actually take quite a long way. Not a lot, well, quite a lot does happen, but you know, not a lot in terms of big battles and things like that. These are mainly focused on raids and things, which obviously our fleet is still quite new. One thing would like to get getting some larger ships and things. Obviously that will probably take a little bit of a while. We'll need to sort of increase our spaceports and, you know, things like that to be able to actually build them and everything. But hopefully, you know, we will be able to do that in the near future and be able to start getting those Corvette class ships. Probably have to design some things like that as well. Obviously there is a very basic designer in this game. It's nothing amazing, not unlike if anyone's ever played obviously the Galactic Civilizations games. They have an excellent ship designer in that one. Certainly something I would recommend checking out if you haven't in the past and are a fan of 4X games. And so here we have got this place. It's got a good few people in it, shall we say. So we are going to send our military force down to show them why they need to, well, basically leave the area surrounding the Tau Empire. This obviously fleet should be able to take them down reasonably easily, although obviously it's not something that would be able to go against sort of a sustained assault against a larger force. Thankfully, because these are quite broken down, we do believe that the naval admiral for this fleet should be able to handle it with some relative ease. Obviously, while we're doing that, obviously though, we are just going to, you know, set up our empire a little bit and just sort of develop a little bit further. It's nothing too major. Obviously, we are just wanting to, you know, make sure that all these people are being as efficient as possible, moving some stuff around, basically just because we can, sort of thing. And so here, switching back to obviously the battles that our empire is taking on, they can see that we are smashing through these space amoebas. I believe they are pretty easily, and even though we don't actually, I don't think we've had sort of first contact directly with them, but we are just going to basically wipe them out straight away. They are not something that we particularly want. They are of no use to us. Bit going against the grain for the actual Tau Empire rather than trying to bring people in first, but you know what, I'm okay with that sort of thing for these ones if it means being able to get our science ship to be able to get this place surveyed. And so here you can see we are just setting up our debris research. Obviously we want to get those as they are timed sort of things, so obviously we want to get them out of the way and then be able to move in to survey the actual system and things like that. You can see we have obviously as well, our fleet did take a little bit, quite a bit of damage there. It was obviously in the sort of 220 mark. It's obviously now down to 157. Not brilliant. But on the plus side, we do now get to the situation where we are actually going to be getting the Corvette assembly yard and a new colony ship. So we are going to be expanding our military pretty quickly, pretty soon. Hopefully be able to develop this actual this sort of fleet, the first fleet, into a force to be a little bit more reckoned with, and something which is sort of certainly going to be able to threaten these sort of pirates and things like that that occasionally appear against us, and be able to wipe them out without really any difficulty or without any risk of loss of life, or certainly at least any risk of loss of Tau life, if nothing else. And so we're going to sort of look at sort of just winding it down now. We'll get everything sort of set up and in a decent position. We have obviously managed to do a good bit of expanding today with getting the new border frontier and exploring to the actual south of the Tau Empire and managing to find a colony planet that we can actually be able to move into to be able to get our 4th official planet. So we are getting very close to the point where we're going to need to start setting up new sectors and things like that, which is, you know, never a bad thing to be able to develop those more. Obviously, the sectors, not something that people have been too happy with, although I've never really had a problem with it. Obviously, with the Crusader Kings 2, I'm very used to sort of giving away land to vassals and it being in your empire in name, but you're not really having very much control over it. So it could be an awful lot worse. It's something I'm very much used to, basically. And so here we are just sort of sending down both of our both of our actual science ships, just to be able to sort of discover a little bit more about these places here. Should be a good place to learn about, and here we are us as well. Thankfully the first fleet is still in the area and could definitely take those down, so they're going to move in just to sort of defend the science fleet. So thank you very much for your time today. Hope you have obviously enjoyed the video, and obviously do be sure, if you are enjoying these series, to subscribe as I'm putting them out regularly, and I shall see you next time here at EGN.